Hey, if you are new here, I'm Lauren. I'm the mother of 7 beautiful children, and they are all, wow, ages 12 to 2 right now. I had a friend ask me a question yesterday, and I thought it would be good to just record it and get it out there because it's a question I've gotten several times now. My friend was asking, she said, hey, we are expecting our 3rd baby. It was a bit of a surprise, but we're actually considering a home birth. She told me that they had planned for 2 hospital births, but their second one came unplanned at home. And so she thought, you know what, if I already did it once at home unplanned, how much more would it be to actually plan to have it at home and try to do it with a professional? So what I told her was the biggest thing for me, because I had 4 hospital births, 4 epidurals, 1 with each kiddo. I told her the biggest takeaway that I had was that I got to build a relationship with my midwife. That was so important to me. I remember when I first got pregnant with our first kiddo, I called into the OBGY office, told them that I had a positive pregnancy test, and I asked specifically if I could have a female doctor because I felt really uncomfortable, especially married, with having a male doctor. And they said, well, that's not how we do things here because you never know who is going to be on call when you have your baby at the hospital. So, we really try to pass you around to each of the providers, each of the doctors, because you need to meet all of them. You need to meet as many as you can. And I just took that as like, okay, well, that's how things are done. I don't know any better. So, so then fast forward to when we were considering a home birth. It was really nice to get to know my midwife. And every time that I had a prenatal appointment, I saw her. I saw the same person. So by the time that baby was coming, we had already had all these conversations. We had already had all this relationship built up between us. And it was an incredible experience. And then she was the one to call in or to come personally and check up on me after the baby was born. How's nursing going? How can I support you? Are you drinking water? And it really, by the time that I got to my second one, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell Zaina. By the way, shout out to Zaina Keeley, most amazing midwife. And I've heard that from other people too. I'm not the only one. But by this time I had my second and my 3rd kiddo, well, it was really my 6th and 7th kiddos. 5th, 6th, and 7th, she was my midwife. But with each of those pregnancies, I was so delighted to share with her that we were expecting again, and I couldn't wait for her to come over and see the family, and just, it was a special, special, special relationship. Another thing that I really appreciated was there was no shift change. There was no people coming in and out of the room. Zaina and her assistant were there with me the whole time. And I can't tell you how peaceful that was. She knew what was going on. She wasn't afraid of, she trained with Ina May, Garden. She trained with Ina May, and she's trained for twin births. She's trained for breech births. Really, she was not afraid. And Ina May back in the day, they were giving birth, if I remember correctly, they were kind of giving birth in the middle of nowhere. If they had to drive to a hospital, it was pretty far away. Our hospitals, we have incredible hospitals, multiple hospitals within a 15 to 30 minute drive. And ambulance wise, I really was not afraid for things going south because I knew that Zaina was trained and she wouldn't make decisions out of fear. And also, if for some reason we needed outside medical help, it was plenty close by. So, anyway, I would say those are the biggest things that were important to me, was building the relationship with our caregiver or with our midwife. I will say the reason that made me switch from doing a 5th hospital birth to a home birth was when I was pregnant with my 5th kiddo, nothing was wrong. Didn't have any complications with my first 4, but for whatever reason, when I had my 5th kiddo, they started saying, you know, you've always had big babies. Have you considered giving birth earlier and like getting inducted? And I was like, no, like I always go 7 to 10 days past my due date. Haven't had any complications. I'm not understanding, you know, what changed. And so then another doctor would come in another time and again say the same thing. I don't know if it's because it was written on my chart or what, but they never pressured me to do that. And I didn't understand why they wanted to take my baby, you know, 2 weeks earlier. They even got an ultrasound to check the baby's weight and everything. Baby was not any bigger, you know, than normal. And I just started feeling really uncomfortable. So I reached out to Zaina. She was actually recommended to me from another doula that was retiring. And I couldn't have been happier. I was really excited to be with Zaina and to have a home birth. And, you know, by the time that our 6th and 7th kiddo came, especially our 7th, my daughter actually was able to be, I didn't want to like force my kids to be there. And I knew that when I went into labor, initially, I didn't want everybody there. You know, it's kind of more of a private thing for me. And I just, you know, needed some time to focus. But one of my daughters, she just instinctively knew to come up that the baby was coming soon. And she got to actually experience the baby being born. And she was so peaceful and she wasn't freaked out about it. And she just like, it was a really neat experience. It was a really neat experience. And, you know, to make birth normal and childbearing and, you know, like I was just excited to have that experience together with my family. So anyway, just for anyone considering hospital birth, home birth, those were the things that led me to do a home birth. That's why I kept doing home births. We are done having kiddos. But anyway, I hope you have a great day. And if you have any questions, I love answering them. So, all right, talk to you later. Bye.